Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment of From a Whisper to a Scream. My name is Bernard,
And I'm Cheryl.
and we're glad to be back here doing another installment. You know, one of our mission statements is to make sure that we do follow up on stories. So we don't just tell you the stories and then move on to the next one, but we actually do the follow up to see what goes on next. And that's one of the things that we promised to do, and that's one of the things that we're doing. The case in point is here we go again with the story from our past two shows of this one young girl who happens to be white, and she is getting pressed like nobody's business. I mean, even now they even have Amber Alert out on her in Tennessee. And at the same time, there are 10 or more girls, but definitely 10 girls in the Washington, D.C. area who've also been missing. And we don't hear anything about that. Now, it's a shame that we have to say, white and black, but this is something that's been going on. And if we don't bring attention to it, then then it's going to be lost. And it's just like, if your child was out there, no matter what color, you would want somebody out there saying something about your children. But when you see one person who happens to be white, who's getting all this press, and 10, and really, Cheryl, 25 since the beginning of this year, who are
Latino and black girls who are of different.
Thank you.
They're Americans too.
Latino and black girls who are Americans who helped to build this country, getting almost nothing. And I'm really kind of ticked that we have to bring it down to this. But if we don't make that and make people think about that, then then you won't know. And we both feel like America's the best place in the world to live. We're just trying to make it a better America.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next story that we have is about, our new Supreme Court judge. We have a new one now. They wouldn't they wouldn't allow the last administrator to put in a choice. So we got this. Let's say it's right.
So why do you think that is, Cheryl?
That's another moment.
Right.
But this 49-year-old, I mean, he's young, 49 years old, so we're going to have him around for a long time.
That's right.
Unless he starts eating. But anyway, here's some, this is a historical day, and he was, he took the place of the judge that died, Mr.
Scalia. Yeah. Very conservative judge, and in fact, when you bring a case before him, and and people who are termed progressive would say, "Oh no, we have to deal with Scalia." Go ahead, let me cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, you said that a judge that was buddies with him was Thomas.
Yeah, exactly. They were big buddies. And what can I say about him? I'm not. Go ahead.
He was his buddy. They were both conservative or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was nominated, and he was also nominated by George W. Bush in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals.
Yeah, sure was.
So, so that's some of his history. But it seems like while he was appointed in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, that he ruled against employees 21 out of 22 times.
Yeah, he seemed to lean towards the side of the corporation in those labor disputes. Go ahead.
That's not good for the people.
I don't think so. I've been a worker.
He ruled in the Hobby Lobby case.
Yeah.
The famous case where he ruled against the employees. He ruled that the company did not have to provide contraceptives for its female employees, even though it was a federal law to supply contraceptives under the Obama administration.
The Obama administration made this this is the federal law of the land. Yeah, and he just went against all of that. And Cheryl, I know how you feel about contraceptives. Just give us your short version.
I don't feel a certain way about contraceptives. I just feel if it was me, if I was an employer, and I had to buy your contraceptives, I would have a problem with that, especially if you weren't married. And then I'm going to have to buy your contraceptives? I don't think so. You buy your own. That's all I got to say about the thing.
But I think the thing is about that, Cheryl. You just made me think of this. Is that but when it comes to males, I'm willing to bet that they're willing to pay for that little blue pill. What's that blue pill called? Um, what's the blue pill called?
Viagra.
The Viagra, and I bet.
I don't know.
But
I
I bet they were paying for that because that was the issue in a lot of companies that they would buy Viagra but didn't want to deal with contraceptives for women. I'm just saying.
If that was the case, then I think it would be unfair because you're giving the male the power to get somebody pregnant, but then you're taking away a woman's right not to get pregnant.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what some companies were doing. Don't ask me to name any of them, but I remember reading those stories, and I don't want to stay on that a whole lot.
I don't know how Bobby was one of those companies. So,
what else has he done?
Well, he also ruled against a truck driver who was caught in the snow, and he called his company to tell them that the truck had broke down and they needed to come and get him.
Yeah.
Well, he stayed with the truck until his extremities started to feel numb from the frost.
Yeah.
So he decided to separate his truck from the payload and seek shelter. Well, the company fired him, and when he went and sued the company for firing him for not dying for them.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Gorsuch, what's his name? Gorsuch. Yes, Gorsuch.
Did you say Gorsuch or Gorsuch?
You have Gorsuck.
No, I'm teasing you. Go ahead.
Gorsuch was the one.
No, you mean Such.
I know, but you got K there.
Well, maybe that was some kind of a Freudian slip. I don't know. Go ahead.
Sucks.
Right.
Okay, Gorsuch sucks for people. Anyway, he was the only dissenting vote. So he was the only one who voted against the employee. Okay. And he said that the man should have stayed with the payload. So it sounds like he's all about the money for me. Yeah, and then, so it's like, okay, he might be all moral and all that stuff, but when it comes down to the money, he'd rather be paid than to be moral.
Exactly right. People say, you can do whatever you do. Don't play with my money. Don't play with my ducats. You know what I'm saying? And that's really a shame. Let's move on past Gorsuch. I mean, he's gonna be with us for quite a while, so we're just gonna have to deal with him, and we will. But the other thing was, you remember the chemical bombings in Syria last week. It was. Yeah, that was.
That's an ongoing thing. That's something that's been happening all along.
Yeah, it has. But the thing that was in the news is they were saying that the president Assad was unleashing these chemicals on his own people.
Right.
And so now it turns out that this independent journalist, she's out of Canada. Her name is Eve Bartlett, and she was on this independent talk show that originates out of England. It's called the Richie Allen Show. And during that interview, she said she's been in and out of Afghanistan and Israel and that whole area at least 3 times in the past couple of years. And she says it was nothing to see chemicals being unleashed on people there, and bombs and killings of the people there on a regular basis. And she contends that Assad is saying a lot of truth when he says it's really NATO mercenaries and, as she calls them, criminals from Saudi that are over there acting on behalf of NATO, and they are actually punishing the citizens of the country because they remain loyal to Assad. And so it's like it's a punishment. There's another agenda going on that we don't know anything about that's going on over there. But my thing is that she says that there's a certain amount of truth to that. And
okay, so when you say NATO, you're talking about the who was NATO again?
You had to ask me that, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to ask you that because I didn't know. And I'm sure some of our viewers don't know who NATO is. I think NATO has to do with the United Nations or something.
No, it's the the national. You know what? We're gonna find that out before.
Okay.
You know what? You know, Cheryl, you and I always like to have references, and I did kind of take that for granted about NATO. And you had to bring it up and ask me what this means. So now neither one of us knows what it means.
I know.
You
But
know?
the thing about it is that I thought you knew because you wrote stories. But anyway,
Oh.
I can look it up while
Wait a
you
minute,
look for it.
ladies. Wait a minute,
I tell you
ladies and
what,
gentlemen. That's
while I'm looking up, since we have this great technology,
yeah,
I
no.
can look up NATO while you do the next story.
Okay.
Or I can finish with this story rather than.
Yeah, but Cheryl, but you know, like if you read the stories when I send them to you the day before, then we could alleviate a lot of this.
I know, but my mind didn't think about that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, people.
So here we are. Here we are broadcasting. But anyway, but she also alleges. She also alleges that the Trump administration is using this as a photo opportunity to make it seem like Trump cares about the people in Syria when he really doesn't. And Hillary Clinton came out and said if he really cared about the citizens in Syria, then he would make a way for at least some of them to become refugees and come to this country. In the meantime, Trump has made it clear that he's not having any of that. And there's this notion that this all was just a stunt by Trump and his administration to shift the attention away from a possible alliance between Russia and Trump again. Who knows? But here's the thing, though, Cheryl. That picture of that father who's carrying those dead babies in his arms and he's marching them to their grave. That's a really powerful picture. So no, I don't care who's using the chemicals, whether it's Assad, whether it's the NATO rebels, mercenaries, whoever. But whoever it is, chemical warfare is that's weapons of mass destruction. Because not only do you kill your enemies, but you kill your own people. Whoever's around is going to be subject to that poison. You know,
and it's not going to just die out. That's going to be around for days, years.
Exactly right. Well, they're finding out now that more and more people are dying since that bombing on that air base where the chemicals were. That's the other thing, Cheryl. Why would you bomb a base where the chemicals were? Because all you're going to do is make make the whole area even more dangerous because you're dealing with that. You know exactly what I'm saying. You know.
So it's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Yeah, it sure is. It's NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And
the international organization which brings together the armies of various countries, including Britain and the United States.
Good point, Sharon. Good.
So they be trying to do. So they do stuff, and they're saying it's just like they say that America put certain people over there in power by giving them weapons. It's just like that's what President Reagan did.
Right.
Just to get Jimmy Carter out, he promised.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, because before we start. Before we start going into the conspiracy things, and we're on the same page with that.
But that's true, but that's not a conspiracy. That really happens.
So let's just say that the NATO forces are over there. We all know that they're there. Whether they're mercenaries, whoever is unleashing the chemicals, it's just it ain't right. That's
giving them the power to do it, or the possibility, or the bombs to make these things. I mean, NATO. They're doing stuff that we don't know about.
Oh, yeah, you know that. You know that,
then you want to go bomb them,
And if we did, imagine the kind of trouble we would be in, even as so-called American citizens, But I got to move that over a little bit, Cheryl, to Afghanistan. And we all heard just a couple of days ago when they unleashed supposedly the biggest, baddest bomb in the arsenal of the Air Force. It's called, and they're calling it MOAB, which is a massive ordnance air blast bomb, and they're nicknaming it. They're nicknaming it the mother of all bombs. It weighs 21,000 pounds, and it has 10 tons of explosive. Now, for sure, this is what it does. I don't know if you saw that film or not, but what it does is that it comes out the back of an aircraft with a parachute, and the parachute sets up and it's and they target it by GPS. Then the parachute releases the bomb, and it falls down on the designated target. But what happens, Cheryl, is that it doesn't necessarily break the ground, but what it does, once it explodes, is it sends out like fire. And it's made so that if there are any open cavities around, then the fire will shoot into those cavities, like tunnels. In this case, it was tunnels, and they wanted.
What they said they wanted to do,
and that's what they wanted to do. So it went through the tunnels. I don't know if it's fire like napalm that they use in Vietnam, but it goes through those tunnels. If there was a cave around, it would be going through those caves. But the Air Force has never used this bomb before, and yet they're calling it the biggest bomb that I guess has been used since in Japan.
Right.
It's just crazy. But it was. They
wouldn't let when Obama said we used to bomb Syria or bomb Afghanistan, they wouldn't let them.
Yeah, no. Isn't that right? Isn't that true? You know what I'm saying? Very true. And Donald Trump. You remember Donald Trump was one of the ones that saying Obama better not even think about bombing in there without getting the approval of Congress. Right. And then what does Donald Trump do?
He does it without the approval of Congress.
He goes without the approval of Congress. And supposedly, Congress is upset and angry. And that lasted for all of 2 or 3 days. And now we're not hearing anything else about it. We're just talking about the mother of all bombs. That's the front story, and not how the whole thing was done. And also, he's given pretty much free reign to the military to decide what's important enough to go, and what areas are important enough to go to and do this kind of thing. And I guess he's saying that because they are the military, we'll let them run it, and then come to me afterwards.
And some of the people that voted for him, they're saying, "Oh yeah, right on." They're really eating this stuff up, and they really are loving that he's doing that.
Right.
But I just can't. I know people are saying that I'm racist and that I'm just doing that is wrong. It's politically incorrect. But there is no such thing as politically correct anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
But let me say this: it just sounds like, well, Obama told them to do this. He knew it needed to be done. But they would let him do it.
Right.
And he followed the law.
Mm-hmm.
And then this boy comes up in here and he does what he wants to do. He even rewrote the way the policy of the Army, how the Army needs to the chain of command and all that stuff.
Well, sure. Are you telling me that because Obama was a black man that they just said and that Donald Trump is white, he gets a free pass? You wouldn't be saying that, would you?
Well, sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Does it sound like I agree with you? I mean, to me, it's
all
as plain.
Thing,
Yeah. It's to me, it's as plain as a nose on your face to say. That's how I see it. I'm serious, but
that's all right. When I may not have agreed with everything that the Obama administration did,
and I know I did.
And I think I've said it once. I'll say it again. But one thing about President Obama, he had no scandals, and he he did things for every American. I don't care who you were. Right. Every American was thought of, and they did things fairly. This administration, not so much.
Right, exactly. It's definitely, he appears to be catering to the good old boys club. You know what I mean? And that's how he seems to be. Yeah. But there's another bomb. In interest time, we got to keep moving. There's another bomb, and this bomb involves my boy Bill O'Reilly.
Oh my goodness!
That's another bomb, but he's in hot water now. He's in hot water now because of sexual harassment cases that have come before him.
Wait! Did you say cases?
Yeah. Cases, and they're still coming. As a matter of fact, still coming. But
I bet you Bill O'Reilly, if we go back through time, we can find how he dogged out Bill Cosby.
You know, he might have. You know that?
About the same thing.
You know what? I bet he has. But what has happened now is that, you know, like I said, the cases are still coming, but some sponsors have pulled out. Over 80 sponsors have pulled out from his show. But and we're going to be watching it here, because a lot of times when sponsors pull out, they might be pulling out that show, but they're spreading that into other shows with the same network. So everybody's still working together. Ain't nobody losing. But on the headline say, "Oh, poor Bill O'Reilly, he's lost." That doesn't mean anything. And as you know, right now he's taking a vacation. He says because of the whole, you know, atmosphere of Easter and wanting to celebrate and all that. But people are saying that they're going to take this 2 weeks and put some people in this spot to see if anybody looks like they have the potential to in the future to bring the kind of income that the bill. Yeah, but let me.
How much did he bring to them again, Bernard?
$400 million a year, and from his show alone, in revenues that he brought to Fox, and that's why they're saying Fox is willing to help Bill pay a lot of these women off, because they brought sexual harassment cases against them, and they spent like $13 million between him and Fox to pay these women off. $13 million is a drop in the bucket when this guy's bringing in $400 million for them. So, but
see, we have to go against Fox.
Mm-hmm.
They have to, we have to go against Fox and let them feel the pinch, because it goes back, like I said earlier, back to the money.
Yeah, it does.
See, even though he said he's going through this now, but didn't he cause another one of our brothers to lose some money because of what he said?
Yeah. You know what, y'all? I like that feed. That was very good. Cheryl. I like that feed. That was good. Ludicrous. Ludicrous was he and Pepsi had a deal, and Bill O'Reilly stepped in and asked Pepsi to drop Ludacris from that deal, because he said Ludacris did not respect women. And so, you know, they said what goes around comes back around again. So there he is, and you're like, hey, yep. And now here Bill is in trouble for the same thing that he accused Ludacris of. And not only that, so Pepsi's in trouble now because of the insensitive commercial they did about, if you hand the cop a Pepsi, then in a tense situation, everything will be smoothed over. If you haven't seen that commercial, you need to check it out.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen them portray it, but I wasn't really watching it. But yeah, I guess if they put some Coke, if they put Coke back in Pepsi, maybe that would be true.
I don't know if they ever put Coke in Pepsi, but they used to put
it in Coca-Cola,
cocaine in Coca-Cola.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but
that's why they call it Coca-Cola.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
And look here, youngster, don't try to act like you know, but I know you just like me.
That
was even before my time too. That was before my time too. So anybody could have access to that. But Maxine Waters is calling for Bill O'Reilly to be to not only be fired, but to also be to be jailed. I don't think she liked that comment that he said about her and her James Brown wig. I'm not saying she had it, but that's what he called it, a James Brown wig.
Yeah.
Gotta move on, Cheryl. We have a segment that we called "Why Is That?" Why
is that?
Yeah. Now here's my story for why is that. Two friends at this casino, the Hard Rock and Hotel Casino in Seminole, and they're playing video poker. Mm-hmm. And so the guy says to his friend, "Hey, why don't you push the button this time and see what happens?" So his friend pushes the button. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and she pushes it, and it's $100,000 jackpot. $100,000. So the casino looks at the security cameras, and she's the one who actually pushed the button for the jackpot. Their policy is whoever pushes the button is the winner.
Right.
So they said technically we have to pay her because she's the one that pushed the button, even though they were playing on on his player's card. I guess they get a card, and then they just use up the money until it's gone. He had a $50 player's card, and I guess you use it's all gone, so it's on his card. So when they told her that, she took the money, and then had some security walk her back to her hotel room. She took the money minus taxes and whatever other charges, but she took the rest of it back with her. And she said she felt threatened by her companion, because I know he cussed her out. That's what I would have done. I would have done the same thing. So then a couple of days later, she calls him. She said that she called him and offered him some money, and she didn't say how much. And so then she says he became belligerent. But wouldn't you? She says he became belligerent. Wait a minute, Cheryl. So now she says she's not going to give him anything now.
No, she's wrong.
You know she's wrong. All she did was push that button. And here's my thing. If for some reason she decided to go berserk and take a bat and crack that machine up, they're going to come after him because they were playing on his card. But when it comes to who pushed the button, they want to give it to her. Now, Cheryl, I know you do too. She was completely wrong for doing that. I think I would have given her the money, and hopefully she would have given me something. You know what I mean? But
what if somebody drops their card or somebody steals the card, and you've been playing on this machine, and then you got somebody else's card? What does the hotel say about that? Because
hey, good point. Well, it's probably no name on it. Nobody would know. But in this case, we knew because they were both playing together on his card money, and he was being a good friend and say, hey, just push for good luck, babe. Yeah. So, if you dare,
I like to say that there must have been some bad blood between them that hadn't surfaced yet.
Cheryl, people who have bad blood between them don't ask the other one to push the button for them for good luck.
That's heavy. Domestic violence go all kind of weird ways.
Cheryl, people who have bad blood between, they're just friends.
Yeah.
They're just friends. People who have bad blood you don't ask somebody that you have bad blood with to push the button for good luck. How would you expect somebody
not so in the sense that they got bad blood, but it could have been a situation where a man and a woman's relationship sometimes is a little one-sided.
Cheryl, but we would discuss
that. She said that mad at him about something that he said 2-3 weeks ago.
Well, let me tell you something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever it is, if I'm mad about something that you said, I'm not going to take your money that you won just because I was there with you and we're trying to repair it or whatever, and I pushed the button. But here's the thing, Cheryl, we're out of time. So we also I'd like to do a good story. The only good story I can think of right now, Cheryl, you might have one too, real quick, is the young lady who is black, who has been accepted to all 8 of the Ivy League colleges, and also to Stanford University. I guess she's gonna just kick back and see which one she wants to go to. I think some of those also include scholarships. That's a good story.
To scholarship. That's great.
Hey, Cheryl.
That's fantastic. And so many of our black youngsters are doing that. I mean, there's another guy here too. Who got into all universities, and people don't tell about those stories about how the good kids are doing. But there was another story that I thought was a good interest.
Okay, go ahead.
And we'll do it real quickly because I know
real quick. Go ahead.
But this little white girl wanted a black doll, and the cashier tried to talk her out of it. And the little white girl was like, "No, she has a stethoscope. She has a white coat, but I want to be a doctor. She's a doctor. She's pretty. I want to be pretty." And she got the doll.
Right.
The mother was so proud of her daughter for sticking up for what she believed, and she wanted a black doll. But the cashier tried to get her to, "Don't you want a doll that looks more like you?"
Right,
and she said, "The doll does look like me."
Right.
So hey, that was a good story to me.
That is a great story.
That's the America that I want, y'all.
Right. Exactly. Good, Cheryl. That's what I want. Good. You're saying exactly what I want to say. It's a shame that we still have to make these black and white distinctions to let people know that black people are people too, or on the other hand, to let people know that white people are people too. I'm sick and tired of this.
Or Japanese or Chinese.
Exactly. We're all in it, and I've heard people say it. We're all in this together.
Like,
Let's act
yeah.
like it. We're always gonna have our own communities, but we need to come together more. If we continue to be separated like the way we seem to be going these days, it ain't gonna be good for nobody. Cheryl,
No.
I think this is our best one yet. I really did. I really enjoyed doing this one.
Everything we do is always the best one yet. Okay.
It is. That's true. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Yeah.
Except for when I was sleepy.
Except, oh my gosh! If you, hey y'all, go look at our last one, number 5, and look at Cheryl. Woo, boy, oh boy! But you're on now. This is the Cheryl that I know. You're on, and not only that, Cheryl, you're helping me to be on, because I know I can be a little stiff, and you're bringing it up. You definitely bring me on. I appreciate it. So everybody, please stay tuned. One of the stories that we're going to be following is what happened in Atlanta, Georgia, with that bridge falling, and they're saying this one lone crackhead caused enough firepower to make that bridge collapse. Well, something don't sound right.
Did they kill his attorney?
I'm sorry. What about it? No. A couple of days later, an attorney who this is what other attorneys are telling me. An attorney was killed about 2 days later, and it was said that she was going to the court to file some motion about this case, and whatever the information was, they're saying that's what caused her to be killed in broad daylight in downtown Atlanta. Sure, we're way over time. We got to go.
Okay.
Please.
Well, we got to do it again.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in again to Whisper to a Scream. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, Cheryl.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.